just little work has been done as far as research matters. If you go online to have a look at work that has been done on amyloidosis, especially transthyretin amyloidosis in West Africa, you will find little information on this. But the reality is that transthyretin amyloidosis is part and parcel of West Africa. How do we know? From few studies that has been done by Jacobson et al. And also by Boxbaum et al., you will find that they have done a lot of work on the variant and an ATTR variant, which is very, very common or known to have originated from West Africa. First, they found it among African Americans in the US. Then they made some attempts to trace the origin of the variant. But what is this variant? This variant is a valine substitution for isoleucine at position 122. Yes, this is a point mutation here. What it means here is that this is a variant that we inherit from our parents. So, and as we speak, in West Africa, most of the countries are affected. But then, 6 countries have been identified to have an average prevalence of about 2.5%. That is the valine 122 isoleucine variant. We have 2.5% an average for 6 West African countries. These 6 West African countries are Ghana. Interestingly, there are 3 English-speaking countries and 3 French-speaking countries. The English-speaking countries are Ghana, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone. And the French-speaking countries are Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, and Guinea. So what we have decided, of course, to establish a center, we can't do it only in Ghana. We need to look into factoring everybody on board. But West Africa is big. So what we have decided to do is to focus attention on the 6 West African countries that have the highest prevalence of the V122I variant of ATTR. This is the plan to make it work effectively. This is what we wish to do. Within countries, say Ghana, Nigeria, and the other 4 I mentioned, we will have what we call a transthyretin amyloidosis support network. What it means here is that we will draw people from some target institutions. For instance, in Ghana, this is our focus. We are looking at drawing people from regional hospitals. We have 10 traditional regional hospitals. We are looking at drawing about 5 staff from each of the 10 traditional regional hospitals. And then we are not also leaving out universities. So we will consider 5 public universities. Each of them will bring 5 staffs to have an in-person training on amyloidosis. The focus is not just training on amyloidosis, but then we want to see how best we can get them to promote, or in the end, they will help us detect cases of amyloidosis early. That is one. And then also diagnose it timely. And once we have that, but you see, the knowledge base is quite low because there is no information. So it is possible, we believe, that there might be some cases of misdiagnosis of amyloidosis, especially with respect to cardiovascular diseases. So we are hoping that with the training program, we will be able to mitigate misdiagnosis of ATTR in Ghana. But as I told you, it won't end there. Once in Ghana, when we start in Ghana, due to resources we have around us, we will consider inviting 5 people from Burkina Faso and another 5 from Nigeria. They will join the Ghana Transthyretin Amyloidosis Support Network, that is TASN. But then, the 5 individuals we are picking from or selecting from the countries, other countries, are not under Transthyretin Amyloidosis Support Network. They are Transthyretin Amyloidosis Workforce Network. So the Workforce Network returned to their countries to also establish Transthyretin Amyloidosis Support Network. The plan here is a train-the-trainer approach. You train, and they also will return to their institution or country to train. So this is the difference here between TASN and TALN. TASN returns to their units to train. TALN return to their country to establish TASN and also train. This is the plan. So once we have this scheme in place, you will see that each country will have a transthyretin amyloidosis support network in selected institutions. And once our focus is to enhance or promote early detection and diagnosis of the condition, once these are happening early enough, we can be sure that there will be what? A guarantee in what? Timely treatment of the disease.